saw coming. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is. Why? Oh, sorry. Dante will do everything in his power to destroy the blackmail and their betrothal. Wait, what? Threat of that. I was like, when did he get blackmailed? Anyway, everything in his power to destroy the blackmail and the betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Whoa. Okay, before I read the next part, how is that a fucking problem? I feel like if I were being blackmailed to marry someone, and then it turned out that they were like chill, and I actually really didn't want the marriage to end, I'd be like, oh no, don't release the blackmail. I guess if she knows and doesn't think you love her, then that's slightly problematic. Is she going to release the blackmail, or is her family going to release the blackmail if he falls in love with her? It feels like a very poorly thought out thing. Like, why does he have to let her go? Does he have to let her go because he never planned to marry, but if he already likes her and they're already married, then why does it matter? What? It makes no damn sense. Elegant, you can tell I bought this when I was in high school. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered. Vivian Lau is the perfect daughter and her family's ticket into the highest echelons of society. Marrying a blue-blooded Rousseau means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money parents. Like, just underpin your entire book with some slight classism. That's super cool. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst possible outcome. Falling in love with her future. Now, why is this the worst possible? Okay, sorry. Neither was the worst possible outcome. Falling in love with her future husband. Why is this bad for her? The entire purpose she's supposed to serve. Like, even if you get rid of romance and love and all of these things, she's still supposed to marry him. So why is it bad that they actually like each other? What? That shit makes no sense. Like, marrying this blue-blooded Rousseau means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her parents. And then she doesn't really like him, which is, like, obvious. He sounds like an ass. And then she agrees to it. And then they fall in love. I'm like, I feel like going into an arranged marriage with the possibility, or like the slight hope to fall in love with this person you're marrying out of duty is like kind of the point. All of the conflict in this book is non-existent. Like, both of their big issues is so fire. It's a love story. I think it's a love story. But there's also politics and different cultures and different morals. Like each of the two main characters has an entirely different concept of what they deem as good and bad. There's lying and complex characters and characters that don't tell the truth all the time and that lie to each other, and you get to see it from the perspective of the main character, who's kind of a dumbass, which means that his take on things is like so surface level. Oh my god, I'm gonna do a whole video about the 3 books because I read the first book on a pretty bad day for me. I picked it up so I wouldn't have to think about anything else, and I got it and I was like, hell yeah. And then I read it and I was like, you need to go to jail. Whoever wrote this, go to jail. Because the themes are very adult and very outside of what is okay within, like, I guess, human rights in the US, or human rights in general. It should not be okay, and it isn't okay. And I thought it was like a wish fulfillment story like this at first, but all of the things in the story exist for a purpose, which is, I think, a lot of why it's a lot. I think stuff like that is what's missing from a lot of these more 50 Shades type of stories, where they'll have a controlling character, but they don't really get into why specifically he's controlling, other than like slight backstory or drama. There's no, you don't, like, they tell you, you don't get to see why they turned out this way, or their environment a lot of the time that made them this way is kept a secret. But for Captive Prince, the environment is the only thing you get, because the main character, the secondary protagonist, is so secretive, so you don't really know why he's an asshole. I have to do a whole different video about this because it's so cool. I don't know if the books are like, they're not very popular. I don't think they are. They're really good though. I would highly recommend. It would definitely be slightly jarring to someone who's not like down the clown, I guess. The reason I read it and stuck through the first book was because I just wanted to know what happened, and I really like the main character, the voice that is used to describe. What was that? The voice used to describe, or the voice that the main character writes in. It's third person, but you can tell that it's close third person. And his voice, the way he sees the world, is very interesting to me, and I very much liked it. It's also just so outrageous that you have to, like, you're like, what the hell, you know, like, they do some crazy shit in that first book. And then by the end of it, I was like, where are they going with this? So I had to get the second one. And then I was like, oh, the second one is where stuff gets real. I don't think that the romance is even remotely relevant or apparent until book Solicits hosted by a friend. Did you see he bumped Arno Reinhardt down a spot on the Forbes billionaire list? Why are we full naming that guy? I'm judging this book so hard, by the way. I don't care. Poor Arnie had nearly had a meltdown in the middle of Sean Shores when he found out. Oh my god, we're name dropping the Forbes billionaires list and Sean Shores in the literally the second line of dialogue. Interesting. The whisper started halfway through the Frederick Wildlife Trust's annual fundraiser for endangered animals. Like, I think when you mention John Shores and Forbes, we get the picture. I think we get the picture. These people are pretty rich. This year, the small sand-colored piping plover was the alleged star of the show, but none of the gala's 200 guests were discussing the bird's welfare when their over their what the fuck is that word? What? That's some rich food I don't know. And caviar cannoli. Oh, that sounds awful. I heard his family's villa is... Oh my god. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't read this. Literally, every other sentence is, holy shit, they're so rich. I heard his family's villa in Lake Como is undergoing a $100 million renovation. The place is centuries old, so I suppose it's time. This is what I'm talking about. Stuff like this can be shown, not told through dialogue. As someone who used to do this, I hate it. I think it's slightly lazy. And I think it's overall a better read if it's chosen, like, you can show that this is a wealthy area, or that the people here are trying to come off a certain way, or that it's a fundraiser. Like, you don't have to say all of this. I'm trying to read into it and see if there's a reason why it's being told through dialogue. But I just don't get it. Like, what? Each whisper grew in intensity, accompanied by furtive glances and the occasional dreamy sigh. I didn't turn to see who had the normally cool as eyes members of Manhattan's high society. It's such dizzy. Take a shot every time they say or allude to them being super wealthy. How many times is that? 1, 2, 3. Would the word gala be count? Is that a rich person thing? Let's say yes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna count villa, and then the $100 million renovation is 2. Where are we at? 7. 8. And 9, because they mentioned Harris 9 times in the first page. There is a single paragraph. No, there's not. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so mad. What that sound like ChatGPT could write it. There is not. They're floating heads. Nothing's grounded in the setting. Oh my god. Nothing is right. It's all dialogue. And then then there's a paragraph to introduce the characters. And I used to write like this, and I go back and I read stuff and I'm like, there's no creative, like, in the way it's written, not content, not anything like that. The way it's written, which is a skill that can be improved and is not something that you just have to reserve yourself to. You can't be like, this is just the way I write. No, it's a skill you improve and you learn stuff to improve it. This is not that. It's so incredibly one note in a way that I don't think is intentional. Like, people who dial back their writing style to achieve a certain, like, if this was intentional, if the main character sees things this way, or if the voice, oh, that's what I'm trying to say. It's in first person. I, me, my. In no way do I believe that this sentence is in any way colored by the protagonist, like by the person's perspective we're seeing. This year, the small sand-colored piping plover was the alleged star of the show, but none of the gala's 200 guests were discussing the bird's welfare over their food and caviar cannoli. There's no character in that. There's no voice in that, simply stating what is going on. We're in first person. That's a third person sentence in a first person story. That's incorrect. It's man, this is just a ranting video now. Damn. Oh, it's so annoying. Cause like, if this sentence were different, I don't know this main character, but let's see. She's well-mannered, so like, why is she kind of sassy in this sentence? I'm trying to see if I can come up with something like on the. I don't know this character well enough to. Like what? Okay, this last sentence. I didn't turn to see what the normally cool as ice members of Manhattan High Society in such a tizzy. I didn't really care. I was too focused on a certain department store heiress. As she tottered toward the swag table in sky-high heels, she quickly glanced around before swiping one of the personalized gift bags and dropping it into her purse. Like, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but in my three favorite books, which are The Captive Prince, what is it? Oh, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and Circe by Madeline Miller. Those are my three favorite books. And I'm not comparing the writing style for. I think Madeline Miller is a better stylistic writer than C.S. Yeah, whatever her last name is. I'll figure it out when I talk about her. I think she's a better stylistic writer. But the way that books like Captive Prince, and I'm reading her other series right now, the way they go about progressing plot is genius work. Like, that is crazy. And the way the characters are revealed, the way their motivations come through without stating in them, perfect. This is not that. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I sound so negative. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not good. Anyway. That's funny. That's a good way to put it. Okay. I'm gonna pick a different book by V.E. Schwab. Let's see. I won't read the back. Let's just read the first page and see if you can hear the voice. Oh, I think I've read the first page. See if you can stylistically tell what's different. Ready? Victor readjusted the shovel on his shoulder and stepped gingerly over an old, half-sunken grave. His trench billowed faintly, brushing the tops of tombstones as he made his way through the marriage cemetery, humming as he went. Honestly, even now I would say you have a better idea of what kind of character Victor is. And the story's not even in first person. Anyway, the sound carried like wind through the dark. It made Sydney shiver in her too big coat and her rainbow leggings and her winter boots as she trudged along behind him. The two looked like ghosts as they... Okay, this might be an unfair comparison. Let's find... Like, already the fact that this tries to give you a concrete image to base the story off of. That is how you are supposed to start a story. I'm not saying you can't start with dialogue. I think starting with dialogue is honestly really cool. But there's a correct way to do it. Not a correct way to do it. A stronger way to do it. That's not fanfic-y. Not even like, I'm saying all these things and I don't think I'm quite nailing what the problem is for me, which is frustrating. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with those kind of stories. I think they have their time and they have their place. They're easy to read. They're not very high stress. But they're just... I think if you don't know... I don't know what my point is, but I don't really know if I even have a point. It's just, there's a difference between this story and that story is... Yikes. Anyway. Okay, let's do dialogue. So, Sydney and Victor, I think, are the only characters that we get introduced to. Are we alone? She asked. Victor blinked. The frown was gone, replaced by the even calm he always wore. And his shoe slid from the gravestone, just us and the dead. Oh, jeez, like there's like... I don't know. Here we go. I'm gonna cut together the dialogue like it was written in that, because that story was basically only dialogue. So let's cut only the dialogue and then see if you can tell a difference. So we got, are we alone? Just us and the dead. Buck up, Sid, he said casually. It'll be fun. You've got to be kidding me. The faster we dig, the faster we get to go home. What if, she said, swallowing. What if the other people wake up? They won't, cooed Victor. Just focus on this grave. Besides, he looked up from his work. Since when are you afraid of bodies? I'm not. She snapped back too fast with all the force of someone used to being the younger sibling, which she was, just not Victor's. Look at it this way, he teased, dumping a pile of dirt onto the grass. If you do wake them up, they can't go anywhere. Now dig. Like, come on. Now, the content in this one, I can already tell it's definitely way more of my vibe. Like, this is way more my vibe. I'm not, okay. Then again, I'm not opposed to reading, like, rich modern stories. I think I read one. I think it's on my bookshelf. Should I go grab it? I might start. I'm gonna go grab it. Acquired the book. This might be a more fair comparison. This one's like a twin swap, so you know it's some Wattpad shit. Let's see. Yeah, it's rich people. It's a twin swap. Hope and Jackie are twins, and they mischief. They're just going to keep calling you if you don't. Look, fine. There's like a whole paragraph of stuff there, but I'm only doing dialogue. Here we go. Jackie, what's wrong? OMG, Hope. Where have you been? Busy. Hope flipped her book open and set it aside. What's going on? It's the wedding. Such a disaster. Oh no. Oh yes, the Martin wedding is totally falling. Wait. The wedding her sister was working on. That's what this crisis is about. Hope flopped back into the hammock. I thought you were talking about your wedding. Huh? How can I possibly think of myself at a time like this? The Martins are counting on me. Like, I'm trying so, like, that's like fine. That's like the bare minimum, in my opinion. And I think it's still more engaging than whatever the hell was going on in that first page. Where'd I put it? Okay. Let's go back. Let's find a different page. Let's find some other part of chapter 1. Maybe... Here we go. Vivian, you didn't tell me he was here, she hissed. Who? Dante Rousseau. Dante Rousseau, but he didn't RSVP, yes. Well, the rules of RSVPs don't apply to him. Can't believe he showed up. People will be talking about this for weeks. Girl, what? And then there's literally... Oh, and then it immediately goes into Dante Rousseau, the enigmatic CEO of the luxury goods conglomerate. The Rousseau Group rarely attended public events that weren't hosted by himself, one of his closest friends, or one of his important business associates. The Frederick Wildlife Trust didn't fall under any of those categories. Bro, what are we saying? Oh my god, I got it. I found a way to make this book a bajillion times more engaging. Ready? You have the father, or the newest enemy of the Dante has, blackmail him into making his daughter fall in love. And then then you get like then it's a rom-com. Then you get the like third act thing where there's like, oh no, you lied to me. You were actually being blackmailed by my father. And then that's the whole thing. Or you make the blackmailee like some other not associated group, so it's not like double betrayal, which would L for that father, but anyway. Something like that I think would be, I just don't, the general conflict of the story makes no sense. Because there's no stake in them falling in love. You know what I mean? Once they fall in love, they should have just like, oh, alright, cool. There's no stakes within the back of the book. Specifically is what I'm talking about. There might be stakes. I'm not reading this book, so I wouldn't know. There's no stakes that can be told from the back of the book. It gives everything away. Which is a whole other issue. Anyway. I wish I could. Let's see. I have another book that does the back and forth thing where it's like Vivian, and then because they have Vivian and then they have Dante and then they go back and forth and it's I. Let's read the first one of this. It's a different concept, so it might be an unfair comparison. Oh, this is cool. But let's see. This one is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. I don't know. Oh wait, never mind. I lied. It's not in first person. It's in third person. Maybe I just don't like first person. I feel like I've read first person books